stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Who, staring down at his cake from with his sour Richie frowning. The warm light of windows would blow on their tongue, for he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath his nose, busy hanging their mistletoe wreath.
And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled with clenched fingers, nervously drumming. I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming, for tomorrow he knew all the Who girls and boys would wake right up early. They'd rush for the toys, and then, oh, the noise! The noise. That's something he hated. The noise. Then the Who's young and old would sit down to feast, and they feast. The Who, they would feast on pudding and rare Who roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they do it, something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together. With Christmas bells ringing, they'd stand hand in hand. The Who's would start singing. They'd sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas thing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with this now. I must stop this Christmas thing from coming, but how? Then he got an idea. The Grinch got an awful idea. Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
I know just what to do. The Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made up quick a Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled. What a great Grinchy trick! With his coat and his hat, I'll look just like St. Nick. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max. He took some red thread and he tied a big cord on top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, giddy up, and the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. All the windows were dark, quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square,
this is stop number one, the old Grinch crossly hissed, and he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slipped down the chimney, a rather tight pinch. But if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little Who stockings all hung in a row. These stockings, he grinned, are the first things that go. Then he slipped in his slum with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present: pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn and plums, and he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast, he took the Who pudding, he took the roast beef, he cleaned out the icebox as quick as a flash. Why, the Grinch even took the last can of Who hash. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. And now, grinned the Grinch, he stuffed up the tree.
and the Grinch grabbed the tree, and he started to shove, when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast, and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou Who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by his tiny Who daughter, who got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, Santa Claus, why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why? But you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. He thought of the lie, and he thought it up quick. Why, my sweet little tot, the big Santa Claus lied. There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, then I'll bring it back here. And it's fickle, the child. Then he patted her head, and he got her a drink and sent her back to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and he stuck the tree up. Then the last thing he took was the log for the fire.
Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but some books and some wire. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses. They were crumbs much too small for other Who's mouses. It was 1:15. All the Who's still abed, all the Who's still a snooze, when he packed up his sled, packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags and the tinsel, the trimmings, the trappings. Then 1,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip top to dump it. Boo boo to the Who's, he was grinchily humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up and know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will cry, boo-hoo. That's a noise for the Grinch that I simply must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear, and he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow.
But the sound wasn't sad. Why, the sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so. It was merry, very.
He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise.
Every who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, they who was sick, who stood puzzling, without any presents at all.
He had stopped Christmas from coming. It came, somehow or other, it came just the same.
And the Grinch, with his green Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so?
It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, and bags.
And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before.
Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light.
And he brought back the toys and the food for the feast, and he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast.